Hey, you guys, this is National Sales Director Leah Laughlin, and this is a quick video on how to book a Power Start. So here's how we define a Power Start in our unit and in the Unleashed area. It is booking 12 to hold 6 parties. Book 12 to hold 6 within a 30-day time frame. And we say book 12 to hold 6 because usually half of what you book will hold, the other half is going to cancel or reschedule. Now, when you're booking with friends and family, you might see a few more hold than 6 because these people love you and want to support you. But then as you start to get outside your close circle of friends and family, you'll see that it's pretty consistent that half of what you book is holding, half of what you book is rescheduling or canceling. So that's an important number to know and to plan for. And so you'll want to start with making a contact list. In your Pink Bootcamp workbook that has been designed for new consultants, in session 1, there is a page where you can create a Mary Kay contact list. And we encourage you to come up with 50 or more names, 50 being the minimum. And you want to think like, who did you invite to your wedding, or who would you invite to your wedding? I think the average American knows like anywhere from 200 to 500 people. And so once you sit down and really think through it, you could surely come up with a list of 50 or more people, and you want to start with those people. I found it helpful as a new consultant to divide my contact list into A's, B's, and C's. And the A's were the people I knew would book a party with me, and I had no problems asking them, and felt good about asking them and felt good about what their response would be. B's were people I was a little unsure if they would be open to it, but I was willing to ask them. And my C's were my chicken list, the people I was nervous to call for whatever reason. And I divided them into A, B, and C, and I started with my A's and built confidence with my A's, and then moved on to the B's, and then eventually moved on to the C's. And by that time, I had gained some skills and gained some confidence in what I was doing. So that might be a helpful thing to do with your contact list. So the script I'm going to go over with you, what I believe is most effective, is a voicemail and then a follow-up text right after you leave the voicemail. And really what's more ideal than that is that you actually talk to somebody live on the phone. But that often doesn't happen. You usually get voicemail, and that's fine. But you leave a voicemail and then follow up with a text, okay? Another option, if you don't have cell phone numbers, are Facebook messages. And there is a voice option when you go into Messenger and click a button that maybe says more, or maybe there's like 3 little circles there, I think. I'll have to look it up on my phone. But anyways, there is a voice option where you can actually leave like a voicemail, a voice text, and then follow up in Messenger with an actual script or a typed out text. Okay, so that's an option too if you don't have cell phone numbers. Now, the script I'm about to go over with you, and by the way, this is in our Pink Bootcamp workbook. In session number 1, you will find the script. So don't feel like you have to frantically write down every word I'm saying. I would almost rather you just listen and kind of take it in. And then you can look at the workbook, or when it's time to actually make the calls, you can work through the workbook because it's got everything I'm about to say typed out and written out for you. So you can go back to this, okay? And the key with this script I'm going to share with you is just follow up. The fortune is in the follow up, my friends. And you will learn a skill in Mary Kay called follow-up. And we learn to do that really, really well in Mary Kay. And they've done studies on sales. Okay, and yes, when you're booking, you're not selling the product yet. You do that at the party. But really everything that you do is sales. You are selling them on holding a party with you. Okay, everything we do is sales. And so they did a study that I believe, and don't quote me on this exact number, this is just from memory, but it's that like 80% of sales are made in the 5th attempt or the 5th touch. Only 2% of sales are made in the first attempt or the first form of communication. You guys, and it is so true. It is so, so true. I mean, I can't even tell you how many stories that I haven't purchased, and then finally made the purchase after consistent communication and follow-up. Actually, I have a really good recent example. Havenly.com. I'm totally making an advertisement for them, is a website where you can have them design a room for you in your house. You give them a bunch of information and they ask you a bunch of questions to figure out your style. And they actually have designers who will design a room for you based on your budget and what you're looking for. Okay, so I go to do this and I fill out all the questions and I'm really excited. And then it gets to the point where it's time to check out. And I'm like, yeah, because you have to pay to get the design. I'm like, yeah, do I really want to, do I really want to do this? And I stopped in checkout. And then they sent me an email asking for more information. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. And then they contacted me maybe 2 or 3 more times and I saw it. And every time I was like, yeah, that looks interesting. I should do that. But I never followed through. And then they sent me an email offering a 10% discount on my initial purchase to get my first design. And I'm like, yep, I'll do it. Got in there, paid for it, got the discount. But that was after maybe 6 or so touches, and what they were sending was emails. And I got all of them, I saw all of them, but I didn't take action until around the 6th form of communication. What if they had not followed up? I probably never would have remembered to go back, or if I did, it would have been a long time from now, okay? So fortune is in the follow-up, and sales are often made in the 5th attempt or after that, okay? Very important to know that. Another tip before I start going over the script that I want to give you is to find your voice, like find your authentic voice, which means you just have to practice. Okay, so practice saying these scripts I'm going to give you before you're making the phone calls. And it's nice to practice in the mirror because you'll probably automatically smile and you'll remember it more because you have the visual of watching yourself say it. And so just practice. It will go from feeling awkward to saying these words to feeling natural. And I remember that happening as a new consultant. It felt so awkward to say the words at first, but then I found my voice and I found my confidence and I practiced enough that it became natural. And then I just felt very professional and felt like I had something great to offer. Okay, so practice. And it's okay if it's a little bit awkward in the beginning. So you are going to be reaching out to your first group of people on like the first day you decide to do this is day 1 of reaching out to people. And then you send the follow-up 3 days later, which is on day 4. So day 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to reach out again to the people you haven't heard from, which is going to be most of them. Because remember, sales are made after several attempts. And then you reach out again on day 7, and that's your final attempt. Okay, so day 1, day 4, day 7, you're sending a voicemail with a text follow-up, and then a voicemail again with a text follow-up, and a voicemail again with a text follow-up. Okay, so here's the day 1 voicemail that you would leave, okay? You would say, hey, Emily, it's Leah. Hey, I'm calling for 2 reasons. Okay, so first of all, I got a little crazy and I started my own Mary Kay business, and I'm really excited about it. And so the second thing I wanted to share with you is that my director actually challenged me to book my first 12 pampering sessions to get my practice in. And I thought of you because it's been way too long since we've gotten together, and this could just be a really good excuse to reconnect, okay? So I thought of you because, and then you're gonna fill in the blank with just a sincere compliment or just something sincere about her. Because remember, these are friends and family that you're calling. So you've got a relationship with these people. So just something sincere and authentic. I thought of you because it's been way too long since we've connected and I miss you and we need to reconnect, and I thought this would be a good excuse to do that. You actually get a $10 gift card to spend on products just for letting me borrow your face because I need to get my practice in. And then 10 for every friend that you bring, up to 50 free. So you can get like 50 free to spend on your cosmetics if you're interested in the products. So hey, text me back, let me know what you think, and we'll go over the details. People are much more likely to reply back if they can just shoot you a quick text that says like, hey, I'm interested, give me more details, versus having to actually call back. Okay, so text me back, let me know what you think, we can go over the details. If you actually do catch this person live, you would still say the exact same thing, except that you would finish with, so hey, I hold my Mary Kay commitments on Mondays and Saturdays. What works best for you? So you would actually say that entire script, and then you would attempt to book her by giving her your availability. So, hey, I'm planning on doing my Mary Kay appointments on Mondays and Saturdays. What works best for you? Or you might say, I'm going to do some weeknights and some weekends. What would work better, a weeknight or a weekend? You're giving her 2 options, maybe 3. If women have too many options, they can't make a decision. So you're just giving her 2 or 3 options with your availability. Now, she's either going to answer and you're going to narrow it down to a date and a time, or she's going to be very uncertain, like, oh, I don't know my schedule, or I need to check with my husband, or I need to check the kids' schedule. She might be very uncertain. If she's uncertain, I would try the tentative booking approach. And the tentative booking approach is just this. You say, well, hey, like, what typically works better for you? I know you don't know the exact details of your schedule, but what typically works better, like a weeknight or a weekend? And often you'll be able to book her if you're just asking what typically works well. Or you might say, well, hey, let's just pencil it in. What do you think would work better, like a Saturday or a weeknight? Let's just pencil it in. And if she's still not sure, then you always want to keep the ball in your court and say, hey, okay, you check your schedule. Would it be okay if we followed up? If I followed up with you tomorrow, what would work better, like lunchtime or evening? Okay, so if she really, really doesn't know a date, then you set up a time to follow up with her the next day to get the date nailed down, okay? And so then you're leaving that voicemail, because that's most likely what you'll be doing, and then you're sending a quick text that says, hey, Emily, I left you a quick voicemail, wanted to make sure you received it. You were the first on my list to call. Let me know what you think. I will follow up in a few days. I will follow up in a few days. That's an important line that you include in there. Then if you haven't heard from her, day 4, you call again and leave a voicemail. And you say, hey, Emily, it's Leah. I just wanted to follow up real quick about the pampering session and the gift card that I have for you. I would just love to get together and reconnect and get your opinion of the products, and also get my practice in, since I'm new to this Mary Kay thing. So I know you're super busy, girl. I know you're so busy. So I'll follow up in a couple of days if I don't hear back from you. Okay, so you just leave that quick, friendly voicemail. And then you leave the text right after. Hey, Emily, just wanted to check back in real quick about my voicemail. I didn't hear back from you, and I just wanted to make sure you heard it. Can't wait to fill you in on the details. Okay, and then you go to day 7. Day 7 voicemail is, hey, Emily, it's Leah. Okay, girl, it's me again. I just wanted to follow up one last time about your pampering session. And if I don't hear back from you, I'm just going to assume you're super busy. I'm sure that you are. And hey, I'll follow up a couple months from now, and maybe we can connect then. Okay, so that's kind of like your closure voicemail. It's like, hey, I know you're busy. No big deal. I'll follow up a couple months from now. So it at least keeps the communication open. And so yes, you're bringing closure to that person then, but maybe 3 months from now, life could be very different for her. And she might be more open to it in a different season, or when things change a few months later. And then again, you send the text follow-up. It's like, hey, Emily, just wanted to try one last time to connect about the pampering session. Text me today if you're interested. And hey, if I don't hear back, I'll just assume you're super busy, and I'll follow up in a few months. And I always like to include just nice emojis with that, because it just makes it feel more friendly to have that visual smiley face or kissy face to include in the script, okay? So that is how you will be contacting these people on your contact list to try to book your Power Start, all right? And then there's different scripts similar to this that you could use for referrals, or that you could use a few months from now once you've established a customer base and you want to reconnect with some of your customers. There's a script to use for those types of people. Okay, so this specific script is for you to use with friends and family to book a Power Start. And there's different scripts to use with the same follow-up structure that I just went over. And those scripts are in the education section of lealaughlin.com. If you click on booking, you can see all those scripts there. And then also a video about the 21-day challenge that is a booking challenge you can use while using these scripts. But we're just focused on the Power Start right now in this video. So let me wrap it up with just a few more tips on booking your Power Start. So let's say you book her, okay? So she agrees and she's on board with doing it. You want to, okay, so you narrow down the time. Let's say you're doing next Saturday at 2, and you narrow down a time with her. And so then you want to take that appointment that you've just set with her and make sure it's a party. And so you would go on to say, okay, I'm really excited for next Saturday. And you know what? It makes it really fun to have girlfriends. We can make it like a fun, relaxing girls' night in for you and your friends. And you can actually earn up to $50 in free product when you have at least 4 friends there. Like, what do you think about having some friends over with you? And then she's going to respond. And then one objection that we often get, just so that you're prepared for this, is people not wanting to do it at their house because of either the hassle of it or a space issue or for a variety of reasons. And so if you can, possibly offer your home. Or possibly offer some times that you're going to be the hostess. So you may know of a friend or family member that you know she's going to have that objection to having people over. So maybe 2 Saturdays that month, you're just having people over to your house and you're booking maybe individual people to come, and maybe they bring a couple of friends. So maybe you booked Sally and Stephanie and Karen to come on a Saturday and each bring you friends. They all come to your house and you just have a party there. And so that's kind of a smart option, is to host a few for the people who might have the objection of having people over or just not wanting to go to the effort to have the party, okay? And then once she's like, yeah, let's have some friends over, then you start coaching her to get a guest list, because you want to be able to invite these people and make sure that people are being invited. And so how that sounds is you say, okay, I'll do all the work. I don't want this to be a hassle for you at all. So all I need from you is a list of friends you want to invite. I've got cute invitations I can send out to them with all the details. Now you go ahead and invite them too and reach out. But I actually want to send an invite with the details, and I would love to connect with them just to find out information about their skin and makeup preferences, because I just want to come really prepared for you and your friends. Also, if you have 4 come, you do max out the free product that you can get. Now, to have 4 come, you need to at least invite like 15 to 20. And by inviting 15 to 20, you'll normally have 4 come, give or take. So what we need to do next is just follow up tomorrow. We'll kind of double confirm the date and time, and then I'll get your list of girlfriends that you want to invite at that time. So you're setting up a time the very next day, even if the party's not till like 2 or 3 weeks out, you want to talk to her the very next day to confirm it, and then also to get her list of friends she wants to invite. And then you're going to start preparing invitations to make sure there's an adequate number of people being invited. And then on that call, because you're setting up a specific time the next day, not just like I'll call you whenever. You're setting up a specific time. And on that call, you're confirming the date to make sure it's still good. You're getting a guest list or just checking in to see where she's at with it. Like, how's your guest list going? So she's either going to give you a list of friends or be ready to text you a list of friends or share their contact info. Or another option is to create a Facebook event where she can add 15 to 20 friends to invite, and you can message them the invite and also post it in the Facebook group. And then you will also pre-profile her at that time. We have a party sheet that is actually in your Pink Bootcamp workbook, and it's also on the flip chart page of lealaughlin.com, that at the top, it's a condensed version of the profile card. And so you can either use the profile card or you can use the top of the party sheet and ask her some of the questions about her skin and her makeup and foundation preferences so that you kind of know what she's interested in. And also your hostess gets a custom look. And so I always like to ask my hostesses if they're interested in a daytime look or an evening look, and if they prefer shimmer eye colors or more matte eye colors, which are flat and don't have that shimmer in it. So I ask that, and then that helps me to put a custom look together for her. And you're having that conversation on the confirmation call. So if you can call and book with her, confirm the next day, and get the guest list, or at least know that she's working on it, you've got a good party on the date book. You're going to go, there's going to be people there, and you're going to be successful. So, all right, well, happy booking, my friends.